going to start as a pyromancer. Not because of the pyromancy, but we're going to use the armor to do a pretty specific glitch later on. And black fire bombs just to make Asylum breezy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hardest part of the run, grab the key. Alright. The rest of the run is basically just a cave walk. Gonna take off all the armor because it's slowing us down, as well as that. We actually don't even need the help. We're gonna drop it pretty much straight away because in a game like this, you kind of want to keep your inventory as clean as possible.
Okay.
You don't have to reply.
Oh.
Unless you're saying like cool or wow.
Wow.
So Asylum Demon, here's the bioforms, nice and easy.
Cool.
That's boss number 20. It's not boss number 1 out of 22.
Wow.
Okay, you can stop doing that sarcastically now.
I was trying to do it with effort.
There was no. Alright, we're picking up the hand axe. We don't need the shield because it's useless and we don't need it for anything. This hand axe is basically a better shield than what the cracked shield is. So you do a little quit out here, and it's gonna make this wall explode. What? What just happened?
What happened?
Just teleported me back to the game I just finished.
Huh?
Okay. Guess we'll start again. Oh, I see what happened. Let's get back up to where I was before. Got past the dungeon cell key, so again we're all good now for the rest of the run. Throughout the run you're going to be seeing me like toggling like this. Basically if you just do that toggle at the start of the sprint animation, it starts the sprint animation sooner and it saves a couple frames every time you do it, or 1 frame or something. Basically if I do it over the entire run it'll save me like a couple seconds, so like not even much. Also there's a boss. Bye bye. Go back to the hand axe thing. Right. Equip the hand axe. Right, this is basically where we're up to before. So we do a quit out here and it explodes the wall instead of having to use the boulder. I'm not quite sure why, but it's a thing. Talked to Oscar, basically just sacrificed their life for us, but we don't care, we got crap to do, so we're not even gonna watch him go. You just wanted a friend to die by and we're just like, see ya. Get to the store. Usually we quit out here, but since we're doing RTA, it's a little faster. So we're going to sit at this bonfire straight away just to get ourselves one teensy little level in dexterity so that we can use the Drake sword, because you need 10. And we're not going to be able to sit at a bonfire We need to stay at this one. So we just level up now instead of later. Depending on what kind of day they're having, all of these hollows up here can be pretty mean. Maybe they got bullied this morning and they just want to take out their anger. Particularly here, as you pick it up, they can just block you straight away. No, getting a bit nice today. So we're gonna need a little extra souls than we have, so we're gonna pop that soul and also kill this guy with a firebomb. And I'm about to do a glitch right now called prompt swap. But first I'm going to buy some stuff. I'm going to buy a throwing knife, 11 arrows for a glitch later, rapier, short bow. And you can see we need this residence key, but we're going to use prompt swap like this to actually pretend to buy something else, but like we only spend the money to buy something else, but it allows us to buy more expensive things than we can actually afford by using a mouse input and a controller input at the same time. You can trick the game and think you're buying one thing but you actually buy another, but you just spend as much as it was to get the first thing. So we're gonna do it a couple times. Here's, oh my god. And what I was saying about these guys being mean. So this is called low underdog right here. I'm gonna run up here and heal. Quit out again. Should be down there by now, but I missed like a pleb. I'm just gonna heal back up for safety. We'll try again. Oh my god. Can you please? Alright. Because I suck, we're gonna have to do it again. Hopefully that guy didn't see me. Okay. I think I'm jumping a little too late here. So, excuse me? Thank you. There we go, fourth try is the charm, apparently. I'm gonna heal up here because there's some really nasty doggies. You do not want these guys as a pet. Okay, that's the nicest that dog has ever been. And that one. Hello? Do this on my real runs, please. Like 45 seconds behind at this point already, but this ain't no world record pace speedrun. Oh. Ouchie. See, now if they hit me one more time, these dogs actually sprint faster than you. Yep. And they can have a nip at your butt. But we wanted to go down there to free Griggs. And we did that already, so we don't actually have to go back down there again. But it is a little bit of a trek to get back to where we were. As long as all these hollows be nice as well. They're being quite mean actually. But I'm just keeping out of their way basically. Oh, see how to, what? These guys are being extra mean. Heal up again just for safety because I don't feel like doing all this run again. Okay. Stop. Thank you. I'm gonna kick that dude out of the way because he's a fatty and he's blocking the doorway. He ate too much cake in his lifetime. So we got a chest right here that's filled with gold pine resin, and you can actually use that on this weapon. And this next boss coming up is weak to lightning, so it's pretty handy that it's like right there, and you can make this fight 100% consistent. I'm gonna equip a bow as well, just for something later. Need to do a lot of the menuing when you're actually doing animations. That way you save a lot of time doing the menuing. So I'm gonna hit him twice here. Wait for an attack. Hit him twice again, and then throw a firebomb while my endurance is refilling up again. And since throwing a firebomb doesn't actually use up any endurance, you can basically just keep outputting damage constantly. Here we want to run super fast. And we're going to use up a humanity right here. Drop that hammer because we don't need it. I'm going to apply the resin again. And I'm actually going to whack this tail a couple of times, and it gives us the Drake Sword, which is a fairly good early game weapon, but it doesn't really have any scaling, so we can't use it too much for later stuff. Now here is the Black Knight. Now usually in runs it's a 26% drop, but just for the sake of this marathon it's going to be 100, and this is going to be the main weapon for this entire run. I'll explain why a little bit later. So the hollow here is gone, which is pretty good. Now coming up is a pretty scary little section, so I'm actually going to heal up. Now I'm about to perform what's called the move swap glitch. Now I'm going to do it and explain it a little bit later, what's actually happening. So I messed it up actually, because it's not difficult once you actually learn it, but like it's still, especially like if you're nervous, it's just very precise. So you can see now, you can see now I'm two-handing it, but it's actually in my left-hand slot, which you usually can only do with bows. So what I actually did, I'm going to get through this room first, because this is quite a scary room. So I'm going to get through it before I explain what actually happened with the move swap. Wow, that's unfortunate. Yeah, this is a really scary room. There's basically 20 million different ways you can die. Well, at least now I have time to explain the move swap. So the bow is the only thing that you can two-hand in your left-hand slot. So what I do is I get a bow in the left hand and this rapier that I still have in my right-hand slot. And you can queue up actions, such as rolling and stuff. So I do a jump and queue up two-handing that bow, but before the animation's over, I put the Drake Sword there, so then it's still two hands, but the Drake Sword is there. And since it still thinks it's a bow, the bow doesn't have a running attack, so it takes the running attack from the right hand slot, which right now is the rapier. So basically what you can do is get these huge weapons that do a heap of damage and wave them around like a little toothpick. So that's what I've got, a little toothpick weapon in my right hand slot. And that's what we're doing with the Drake Sword right now. Once we do a running attack, it'll do the rapier running attack, which actually attacks twice. So we can actually get double the amount of damage that we would with these big weapons. Now the Drake Sword isn't too big, but we don't have enough stats yet to use the Black Knight Greatsword. But it's enough to make this fight pretty easy. I say that as I'm about to die. And that's gargoyles. Now we don't need to ring the bells because we're going to do a skip. That basically means we don't have to. And we're going to do that right now actually. But before we do that, we're going to do another prompt swap. to rip off more of the merchants. We're gonna get one of the rings from Griggs here that usually costs 20,000 souls, but as you can see we don't have that. But we're just gonna scam the crap out of him. We're gonna buy full control as well, and there we go. So it drains all your money, but it doesn't actually put you in the negative, so it thinks you bought it and it thought you had enough. But poor old Griggs is just gonna have a bad day when he does his till. So got a long elevator here so we can do some inventory management. And coming up here will be the Sen's Gate skip. So in this game there's a thing called a death cam, which basically when the game thinks you're about to die from falling, it has a different like camera style and puts you in death cam. And while you're in death cam, nothing else will load. So right now we're going to do a specific setup here to actually touch the death cam without actually touching the kill box, which will put us in the camera but it won't kill us. So then we can unload some stuff. Well, not unload, but it won't load anything new. As you can see, I'm in the death cam now. It looks quite weird. And we need to be quite fast here, because if this holo catches up, it won't let us sit at the bonfire, which we need to do to attune. Okay, so we tune this magic, and when you're in this camera as well, it turns the controls all weird. Some people do it with keyboard, but it turns into tank controls where you press forward to go forward and then left and right to turn, no matter what direction you are. But as you can see in this state, the gate to Sen's fortress doesn't actually load, so you can just run straight past it, quit out, and then you are in here. So we just skipped like a lot of the game. Well, we're coming back to it because we need to kill the rest of the bosses that you usually need to kill, but when we get to them we'll just have a very good weapon and dispose of them quite easily. Now this seems like one of the scariest parts of the game, especially when you're playing casually, but in terms of speedrunning, it's very consistent as long as you quit out in the same place every time. The only scary part is that lightning guy that can catch you off guard sometimes if you're not concentrating. But you always have enough time to get up to this fog gate before the next boulder comes down. However, over here we don't have enough time, so we're actually going to quit out, which will reset the boulders back to the top, and it will give us enough time to get back through, so we don't even really have to navigate any boulders at all. And there's a trap here, but you just angle yourself a little bit and you just get straight past it. This guy up here does pretty much the same thing. Sometimes you can do a little meme, but you just give him a little slap in the face, backhand for being naughty. And Sen's Fortress is done with. So just up here, once we get through this place a little bit more. No, I'm going to take Bonfire, just in case I somehow die, because it'll be a very, very long trek back here. All that stuff with the Sen's Gate skip and everything, we'll have to go through it all again if we die. So there's no harm in safety. Well, in speedrunning there is actually a lot of harm in safety, but in terms of being in a marathon, I'm not trying to break world records here. Actually, speedrunning is mostly about doing the not safe thing, because it's faster usually, but... Oops, messed up. New stop again. Here we go. So this next boss, Iron Golem, he's actually quite tanky. He has a lot of health and a lot of defenses, so we're not actually going to deplete his whole health bar, because that would take a million years. He does have really weak ankles though. He likes to skip ankle day.
Squid never skips me.
And so we just hit his ankles 7 times and he'll trip over. And keep him on this bridge part, he'll just trip off the edge more or less. As long as I don't miss like I did there. If I miss again, then I'm pretty much wrecked. Okay. We still should be good here. Oh, I'm not sure if he's actually gonna fall off here. I hope he does. He will. Yeah, he's gonna. And got good bomb cycles as well. And that was Iron Golem. We didn't have time to see him fall off the edge because I could hear that the next bomb was coming pretty soon. But here we go. In casual plays, it took me like 20 hours to get to this place, but here we are. So something that I haven't actually explained yet is duping. I've been doing it with the bones and also Iron Golem. I will do it with this soul pretty soon. I'll explain that in a second, because right now we need to get 22 strength, 18 dex, so we can use the Black Knight Greatsword. But I'm going to dupe this, I'm going to do an animation and queue up using this core of an Iron Golem. But before the animation's over, I'm going to actually use an Estus, and it'll think that I'm using an Estus, but oh wow, okay, I suck.
How am I supposed to not yell?
Alright, we'll have to do it again here. Wow, easiest glitch in the game. There we go. As you can see, I used it, but it didn't actually consume the core of an Iron Golem because the game thinks that I consumed an Estus. So, oh my god. Okay, let's not do scary stuff like that. Now up ahead is coming another glitch in a little bit called meme rolls, and it's the whole reason that we got the pyromancy armor. Is because to perform this glitch you need to be at exactly 25.088% equipment load or something along those lines, and you need to be at that very exact, and the pyromancy armor is like one of the only ways to do that in a speedrunning sort of sense. And basically what it allows you to do is you can keep rolling mid-air, and you can use the iframes to actually iframe fall damage, which is pretty neat. I'll about to show it off right here. And just like we did with Sen's Gate Skip as well, we're going to actually use the meme rolls to go through a death cam, which won't load new things. Oh wait, why did I took the armor off and I wasn't supposed to take the armor off yet. I literally just put it on. So that's okay. We can admire the view while we're here, waiting for me to not mess stuff up. As you can see, I can keep rolling. And you can see this gotta go fast blue streak behind me. That's because we're in the death cam. We went through a kill cam as well, but since we had full control, we didn't actually die because it's full damage, I think. But basically we're on a timer. If this full control runs out, then we will die, basically. So we have a minute to get to this place, and while we're in death cam, which can be a bit annoying sometimes, especially up here. There's one move that we have to dodge, and that's, oh my god, I didn't equip the ring. I swear I did. I was just about to explain that the reason why we buy the Bellowing Dragon Crest ring, well no, this ring here, is because it extends the length of full control, and so we can't actually get past there without extending the length, as I just demonstrated. That's the whole reason I died there, was to demonstrate to you that you will die if you don't apply the ring. So I went through that just so you learned from my mistakes. A mistake that I purposely did, definitely. But it's not a big deal. We can get back there quite quickly. This has been a terrific start to the run. We don't have to go and activate the lever again, which is kind of good. Sometimes those guys can hit you with throwing knives, and there's nothing you can do about it, and they'll kill you. It's like it's a 1% meme, but when it happens, it's like it comes out of nowhere. So that's why I keep the rapier out, is so if that guy tries to block us, we go nope. So I'm gonna put the armor back on, as well as Drake's sword and the catalyst. Take the catalyst off. I'm gonna do the meme rolls again. And there we go. So you can actually, you need to keep your camera up while you're doing the meme rolls, otherwise the camera that I'm in now will actually go above the structure and you won't be able to see anything. Now, I don't know where the gargoyle is. I think I saw him just behind me now, so we should be safe from him. Now, up ahead, oh, I might need those. Well, I wasn't sure if that was a swing. We didn't actually need to roll that, but I did just for safety. I'm a very safe man. Quit out here. So basically we just use the death cam to run through that gate that usually is closed and we can't open it. Now, I'm going, the whole reason that we bought 10 arrows is to look at the quantity. So look at 10 and I'm gonna, I'm going to do an animation and queue up using this golem, core of an iron golem, and it still wants us to use it, so we get into the menu first. And now since you see the core of iron golem is up, and because it thinks we're saying yes, it won't actually prompt you to quantity of like how much you want to buy, so it just reverts to the last one you looked at, which for us was 10, so we didn't have enough money to buy 10 Twinkling Titanite, but we just tricked it into thinking that that's how much we were going to buy anyway. So we now have a fully upgraded Black Knight Greatsword, thanks to the quantity buying glitch. Now we're off to see the best, not best, boss in the game, sorry. This boss can be quite a nuisance sometimes, because you can lose time basically just depending on what they do, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's a few bosses like that in this run, but you can also die pretty easily here if you don't know what you're doing. So we've got the good opening, which means we just come all the way to the left here, roll it, and we do 2 attacks. See, Smo shoveled to us, so we got to us really quick, but now he's jumped away, so we should be fine actually. And this guy, oh, he's gonna shovel to us as well, is he? Oh, I don't know how that, okay. Okay, you can actually just stun lock him if he doesn't, well, I'm trying to show off that you can stun lock him, but you can't do it if he jumps away. The only 2 times I've hit him is when he jumped away. Okay, here, stun lock, right there. So we can just keep doing this over and over to him again, and he can't do anything about it. I'm gonna put now, this is the easiest shot to hit in the game, in the entire game. Basically, you just gotta hit this girl in her big breasts okay. I don't know why that was on no. There you go.
How am I supposed to not yell?
So now we're about to head over to Stray Demon. Before we do that, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of endurance. And just on the elevator here, we're going to give ourselves some extra souls, just so we can get our level ups done properly. Without bursting this soul, you can't actually get to 22 endurance after this boss, which is what you want to do. So having 22 endurance means you can fast roll with the greatsword instead of mid rolling, which comes in handy for a lot of the later bosses as well. So what we're doing here is we're going back to the starting area, because there's actually a boss under the boss that we fought in the first time, but it just has magic moves and is a lot tankier basically. So we're gonna wait. I'm gonna sit in this nest until this crow up there thinks we're its egg, and it's gonna take us to a place. It's actually a really cool cutscene here as well, but we're just gonna skip it because we're speedrunning. Now these guys do a lot of damage, so we're gonna do a sneaky move swap here while they're coming up to us, and then jump straight past them. So I can get a stored roll here, which basically, like, you can start rolling, but sometimes they just eats your input. And with that magic attack, we want to run straight behind him. And here again. He's doing AoE magic attacks, but I'm sort of stuck behind him. Alright, this is not a bad fight. Goodbye, straight in. If you get a sword roll and does that magic attack that he did on me just then, and he does it straight away, you will die. There's nothing you can do about it. You kill that guy so he doesn't kill us while we're burning out. And there we go. Now we're gonna get 22 endurance so we can fast roll, and we'll head on down to Priscilla. Now you pick up that doll that we just picked up. You actually need it to get to this next area, and a lot of people that play through the game never find it because they're like, what the hell is this stupid doll looking thing, and then they never use it. We're gonna get down there nice and quick and not take any fall damage while we're at it. And we're going to do a full control crit out. So basically when you have full control, the game prioritizes you know, checking whether or not you're going to die first. So basically you can hit the ground and then quit out before you actually die, so it will save your position, but it won't kill you yet. So if you quit out after it's saved your position, but before it does the damage to you, you can actually just basically teleport downwards, which is what I just did there. That fall will usually kill you if you don't do the quit out. Now this place can be pretty scary because there's a lot of hollows here, and they do a hell of a lot of damage. Ooh. That guy barely missed my anus. I don't know if I can say anus in the marathon. These guys as well in here. I have to make sure I get ready to roll, because this one can sometimes give you a little slap in the face and take down nearly all of your health. And we're running up here to get an item for a glitch later. These guys are quite scary. So we're just going to keep rolling, because the range on their attacks actually hits behind them as well. So we can't just run around them. I'm gonna grab this red soapstone ring, and you might be wondering why the hell you want to use a soapstone ring. That's an online weapon. I mean, an online item, and you're playing offline. But I'll explain it a little later when I have a bit of time. It's gonna be after Gwendolyn that we do a glitch called ESM, which basically does a lot of tricking of the game into thinking you have an item, but you don't actually have it. The reason why we need the red soapstone is because it actually has the same item ID as red tearstone ring, which is oh no. Ooh, that was close. I gotta watch these arrows because if one hits me, I am dead. Oh, crap my pants there. Yeah, and we're gonna do a little glitch to put the red soapstone into the slot of where the ring is. So all it does is read the ID, so it thinks it's the red tearstone ring. Priscilla actually will never start hitting you as long as you don't hit her, so it's pretty sad that we actually have to go and be her enemy. She's just like, hey, I want to help you, what's going on, what's going on? And you just slap her in the face and she's like, okay, fine then. This next boss is a speedrunner's nightmare, basically. Not because of its difficulty, it's actually one of the easiest bosses in the game. But she has 3 attacks, or he has 3 attacks, but only one of them you can actually attack him with. So the other 2 attacks, he can just sit there spamming these other 2 attacks, and you can do nothing about it. So you can lose 30 seconds to this guy without you having done anything wrong. But for some reason, like, you need to stagger him to be able to kill him in one go. Oh, there's 2. And there's only one move that you can stagger him from. So there's that really good move that you can stagger him from. There's one in the middle, like where you can keep moving towards him, but you can't hit him. And there's one that makes you basically stay in the same spot. So we'll see what kind of RNG we get here. You can keep running down this hallway and it's basically infinite as long as this boss fight is still going. So this is like the medium one where you can still keep going up, but you can't attack him from this. And we got the good attack, so this is basically the best RNG that you could have. That's a gold split for me. It's the very first time we've got perfect RNG. I'm going to level up to 15 vitality and 24 strength. So we need to save at least 25,000 for some stuff we're going to do now. So I'm going to do 2 glitches really quick here. And I don't know if I don't really get how they work. I just do it. There's the ESM that I was explaining just before, where we trick it into thinking we have the red tearstone ring. But I'm going to buy 990 arrows for that. I'm going to queue up these 999 arrows, and then also queue up this bone here. And we're going to do this to purchase 999 pikes. Yes, you heard that correctly. We actually did only buy 1 pike, but it basically just weighs the amount of 999. So we're going to do something here now called negative quantity, which basically, using this double menuing here, can trick the game into dropping a negative amount. And since dropping, when it puts stuff out of your inventory, if you drop a negative amount, it actually gives you that much of it. So we're giving ourselves basically infinite black fire bombs here. And I'm going to do another thing. I'm going to open up this. And see how we have the red tearstone ring on now. So basically the way it works is you got to cram yourself. It's a leftover mechanic from Demon Souls, which is the first game in this series. where you actually had weight load, and they basically just didn't take that away, but they made the limit so high that you will never reach it in casual play. And that's why we buy 999 pikes, is so we can do that. And it kind of messes stuff up a little bit when, because you can't drop anything. Well, you can drop, but you can't unequip anything. And basically that allows us to trick the game into thinking that we have red tier stone ring. But I also won't be able to pick up anything right now until I drop the pike, or the 999 pikes, which I'll do quite soon. Do it just here because there's some armor we gotta pick up pretty soon. Oh, not the arrows. Here we go. So I'm going to try and get into the red tier stone ring range. If you're under 10% health, it'll give you plus 50% damage, which is why we want that ring. Depending on what move this knight does, which is pretty good. We got the good move. There's one move that kills you, one move that doesn't put you in the range. But also we're going to take some fall damage if we don't use full control here, so... So now I'm going to do a crap ton of damage, especially with this red tier stone ring activated. You can see that I'm like glowing red. That means I'm in the health range to actually get the effects of the plus 50% damage. Now, it's quite scary having low damage with this upcoming boss because he jumps around a lot, and when he jumps around he does tick damage, which is like a tiny amount of damage on you, but we have so little health that it can actually kill us. So if he does it one or two many times, then it will kill us, but we only need to hit him twice. So we already have 0 souls, so I can actually just use the dark sign to get out of here. But we'll see what kind of fight we get. See that? It did some tick damage to us. Right. Keeps doing really crappy moves. Moves we can't punish. Here we go. Should be able to kill him, yep. Oops. There we go. That's Sif.
How am I supposed to not yell?
All done. Now, on the way to Butterfly here, I'm going to set up, or start setting up, one of the hardest glitches in the game, or the hardest glitch in the game in my opinion, which is coming up after this boss. And a lot of people like it, and a lot of people hate it. There's really no middle ground, and I, for one, despise it. I wish it was never found. But it's basically a 4-part glitch in one. But just for now, I'm going to use these fire bombs that I got to kill this butterfly. I'm also going to put on some stone armor so that she can't stagger me, or she or he. I don't even know what the hell this butterfly identifies as. Wow. There's 2 ways. I got the fire bombs because you can actually only attack this boss once it comes down after doing a bunch of attacks, but it's faster just to try and basically shoot her down. Oh wow, I rolled way too early with these fire bombs. Ooh, that was lucky. Alright, now we're moving on to Blighttown Skip, which will hopefully be fun. So we need to use this pyromancy armor again, since we're going to be doing meme rolls, or air rolls. And I'll explain in as much detail every part of this glitch as well as I can while still actually being able to do the glitch. So you run into this little wall here, and you look at a very specific place for a setup, and you backstep 5 times. You're setting up a position up here basically. You run into this wall in this specific spot, and we're doing. Oh wow! I can't believe I did that. What am I doing? I was supposed to two-hand the bow there, but I pressed the wrong button. So never fear. This means we'll get red tier stone ring anyway for Quelaag, so it's not too much of a disaster as long as we get it first try. So we want to get the bow, two-hand the bow, and look at another quite specific spot. And we're going to parry 3 times and put out. And this is gonna, it's called transition clipping, and basically it's gonna just shoot us out of this area. And since there's a slope right down the bottom, we can actually land there before it takes the damage off of us, and we can get saved by this 1 pixel wide wall. I'm gonna set up meme rolls and cast full control at the same time. And we're going to meme roll on down here. Now this part's called the seam walk, which is the hardest part of this glitch, in my opinion. Now while I'm doing this, I'm just going to shut the hell up while I can concentrate. Okay, I can't believe I did that. Oop. I shouldn't speak so soon. That's okay, we can quit out. As long as I don't choke the quit out, we should be fine. But I do have to cast full control again. Basically, we can do some more meme rolls here, and Quelaag's domain is like right under us, so we can do some meme rolls and just land basically straight into there. I have a crap computer, so it takes 2 tries to actually load it up, so I lose like 10 seconds here every time, which is annoying. But you can preload it, but you have to preload it like every now and then, all the time. But here we are in Quelaag's domain, and since we had to do Blighttown skip twice, we actually are in red tier stone ring range, which is nice. It'll only be 2 hits for Quelaag, so as long as she doesn't do the jump, we're fine. Oh my god, she's jumping. What are you doing? Come over here. I don't want to go where your lava is. Thank you. And there we go. Now that was a long fight, so I'm not sure if I still have the full control on me. In that case, I'm just going to heal up before the drop hit, so I don't die. Well, it turns out I did have full control still on, but that's okay. We've got to, you know, do our workplace health and safety. I'm gonna take this bonfire right here. 1, so I can teleport back to it after this boss, and also level up. We want 18 vitality and 26 strength. 18 vitality is good for this boss because it has 3 moves basically, and 2 of them we can get smacked in the face and it'll put us in red tier stone range and it won't kill us. And if I position myself correctly, it shouldn't do the other move that actually kills us with this health. But I guess we'll see. And getting 26 strength will mean that we can actually kill him in 3 move swaps instead of 4. Which, you know, saves a couple seconds, which is everything in speedrunning. So we're gonna go up and we're gonna throw a throwing knife at his face, which will make him cranky and try and hit us. 'Cause usually you gotta walk all the way over there and pick up the armor. Picking up that armor makes him cranky. It must be like his only possession or something. So we're gonna watch for his arm. Oh, see, I mentioned getting slapped in the face with him will set up the red tier centering range, so it's not too bad. As long as I don't mess up this next roll. Okay, we're good. It leaves us with the tiniest little bit of health. You can actually barely see it. Now, this glitch here is my favorite glitch. Just because it's so simple, but it's like so many things had to align for it to happen. So this is quite like the domain that we're in right now, but this elevator is actually part of a different place. It's part of Demon Ruins. So basically, it loads up after everything that we're currently standing on. You'll see that it actually loads up a little later. And since every time we quit out, we move backwards a little bit, and we're standing on a slope, eventually we'll move back far enough to where we can just clip onto the elevator before it loads in. But this would be useless because we would just fall down and die. But there just happens to be a boss right under here that you can plunge attack, which is like one of the only bosses that you can plunge attack. And there is actually no way to plunge attack this boss in this fight, but it's a reskin of the first boss, which you are intended to plunge attack, so it's just like a mechanic left over from a different boss. So it's super simple glitch, but it's like insanely good, and it skips one of the most annoying parts of the game. I'm gonna take the safety bonfire just in case I mess things up here. We're just gonna use the lava to get us into red tier simmering range, but sometimes you can mess it up because the lava does want more damage depending on if you're running as opposed to walking. So we need to walk for 2 of the ticks and then run for one of them, or actually roll for one of them. There we go. So there's 2 ticks there. There we go. Red tier simmering range. It's going to take us 2 attacks now. There we go. Dead ski. Oh, I don't want to return to my last bonfire. I'm going to heal up. And we get the ring that lets us walk on lava without taking too much damage.
How am I supposed to not yell?
As you can see, this lava is the best texture in the entire game. Definitely doesn't want to make me stab my eyes with a toothpick looking at it for too long. Now you gotta do some pretty specific pathing in this area. Oh, I thought my game crashed. Because these guys do a lot of damage. And they'll instant kill you, basically. But if you run at this guy's foot, as he turns to you, you'll actually end up being under his legs. So it's quite scary actually being like running straight at him. It looks like he's just gonna kill you. But it works out fine. And this dragon butt thing here, when they do the stomp attack, they actually stomp with their right foot. So you want to run by their left foot, and then he can't kill you. And by the time he's finished stomping, you're too far away for him to actually worry about you. Most of the time. Oh, no, he's worrying about me, so I'm going to quit out. I learned that lesson once where you just don't care. You're like, oh, he's running straight at me. And I lost one of my best runs to him, so quit out, send him back to his place. You should know where his place is. Me running around with no clothes and this big ass toothpick. I'm better than everybody. Well, we're not going to use this big ass toothpick for this next boss because the developers are on crack when they made this boss. It's basically just 3D Super Mario platformer. But we're going to skip all of that, luckily. But the reason I'm staying Moosewap right now, because we're coming up on my arch nemesis, the Witch of Izalith, which killed one of my runs as well before. So every time I get to the spot, I like to give her a good old smack in the face. Ooh, that was quite scary because she blocked me from getting past. Now there's a strat here called Turkey Bombs. I'm also going to equip the stone armor and then unequip it just to make something easier for later. So you have to get to the left side and then run all the way to the right side and kill like some orbs. But with Turkey Bombs, you can just use bombs to shoot them all down from here. I'm not sure if that'll be good enough actually. No, it's good. There we go. So we just basically skipped the whole boss fight there. The boss can still kill us from in here, which is quite scary. If you, the boss has like 2 health. And there we go. Now this is the scariest split of the run, more or less. So we're gonna give ourselves a bunch of health. Warp on Defiling Shrine. Can tell you're falling asleep.
Huh?
Can tell you're falling asleep. We're gonna sit down here and work our way back to the Lower Berg, which is the place that I missed a billion times before. And these guys are being mean again. The big bullies. That's all they are. Alright. If I could get the skip first try this time, it would make my life a hell of a lot easier. Hey, there we go. Put on the stone armor. Just because these doggies can do a lot of damage. And also stop me. So, this is Capra Demon. We're gonna say hi and bye. And we just quit out at the same time that he dies. Which means we kill the boss, but it also thinks that we quit out during the boss fight. So it sends us back to the start here, actually. And we're not quite in red tier stone ring range yet. But we're gonna do a drop pretty soon that will hopefully get us there. Sometimes it doesn't though. This guy's following us. So we'll just have to see. I can tell that the dog's coming after us as well, so I'm going to put out here actually. If the dog comes after us and gets a nip of our anus, then we're dead. So we're going to do a little specific jump there. Oh my god, I missed it. This is quite scary now, if you miss it. Okay. How did I miss it twice? I'm going to quit out here. Wow. I never missed that twice. I think I was too far that time. Ooh. Oh, that was scary. Okay, third time's the charm. And now we're in red tier stone ring range. Which is pretty good. There's this giant rat here. He almost never hits you, but it feels like he gets so close every time and it scares the poop out of me. Sometimes that rat can get a little hit on you and make your day not fun. So, if this dragon actually does its main attack straight away, it should be quite easy for us. And it's gonna do it, so that's pretty good. Basically, we can just run straight at it and hit it into the little willy head. Oh, now I've messed up though. Missed the shot, so now we have to wait. Oh well. That's the scariest part done with, which is good, all fine with me. This next boss fight can sometimes be a little but as long as I don't be a dickhead, I'm good. So I'm gonna put on this armor, just because when you take fall damage, you actually take more fall damage depending on how heavy you are, which is good when I want to set up for Red Tearstone Ring. Because basically, having Red Tearstone Ring is the most important on this boss here. Oh, I did it perfectly. Because it's called Four Kings, but basically you can just kill the boss without having to fight all four of the kings, because it says 4 kings and you actually fight 4 different things, but they all have 1 health bar, and you can actually attack them while they're dying. So you've taken their health down and they're like in their dying animation, you can still attack them then, so you can actually do extra damage to the whole health bar. So we actually only need to kill 2 kings. We would have to kill 3 if we didn't have Red Tearstone Ring, but since we are, it saves us about 40 seconds, which is quite good. And here I'm going to do a slope put out. Oh, apparently not. Basically we hit this like instant slope here, and we quit out before it does any damage to us. Yeah, if it's going to do it. And it'll save our position down there. I don't know why it's not doing it. Come on, man. Whoops. I don't understand what's happening. It's never taken this many tries, ever. Let me put that turn a little bit. What is happening? I'm off the edge. I don't understand. Alright, I'm gonna walk back, set it up again. What is going on here? Excuse me? It's never taken more than like 2 tries, and now it's been like 10. I think that was it there. Jesus Christ. And we're gonna quit out here again, just because it gives us a death cam and it makes it really annoying. I just lost 1 minute to one of the easiest skips in the game. So I'm actually going to drop an item here, so that, because we drop in just basically where the second king spawns, and then the first king will be right behind us here. So I drop that down just so I know where the second king is going to be. I'm going to wait for an attack. That's a good attack. It's really easy to punish. Now I'm going to kill him, but I'm going to attack him again. And as you can see, it still did damage to the bar. And now we have like over half the damage done. And this second king, you basically get free hit on him, so you only need to punish 1 attack. Oh, I didn't get the free hit. Okay. There we go, still got 2 kings. There's some leeway. You do so much damage, there's some leeway to you messing up. No, we don't care anything about what this guy says. Don't press no, but then because then the run's over. Takes 6 million hours to load in this tiny little room. place the Lord Vessel. And then we're off to do Seath now. So we have four bosses left to go. I'm actually gonna quit Sif. We're just gonna dupe that soul. Not that we don't have any souls, but more can't hurt. Sometimes we're just doing stuff where there's nothing else to do. This is quite a long run, which is a bit annoying. This boar up here looks pretty scary, but he actually has a hollow head. Just dive straight through it. If you do mistime that dive, you will die, but it's not too hard. You get around this guy, and he's gonna miss, because he sucks dick. Oh! That was scary. I'm gonna use this animation just to dupe this twice. Now I'm gonna go behind the bookcase, which is a couple seconds slower, but just a bit safer. Because if you run towards that sorcerer while he casts at you, you're basically dead even with his health. We're heading to one of the earliest skips in the game, called, what is it called? Juke skip. I'm going to cast full control, just so we don't take any fall damage. But I'm going to use a setup to get on top of this rail. And if we do a roll here at the perfect time, we'll land on that rail, and we basically, if you don't know, you actually have to go to the top and die to the boss first, and then you have to go to this prison and then escape the prison, but we just basically skipped a whole chunk of the game. Oh. I'm going to do a full control quit out here, so that we basically teleport to the bottom, because it's a very long ladder. And we're going to do another full control quit out pretty soon as well. This section is quite a mellow section. I feel like listening to music and stuff. It's nice to just jam here because it's a lot of running and virtually no risk, as long as you know what you're doing. And even the boss, like, as long as you don't miss, there's no way he can kill you. But I'm going to cast full control here again. What I need to do is slide off the slope and kind of jump a little earlier than usual. Like that. We land on the ground. We just skipped about like 20 seconds of this section. If I did it right, this guy might kill me. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for him to attack. Usually I'd land a bit past him, but oops. Oops. So this boss up here is basically he's an immortal dragon, and he's spent years and years and years making this crystal that makes him immortal. Also doing some pathing to keep these clams in the middle of the room, because if they come into the boss fight, it actually mess things up. But that crystal I mentioned that makes him immortal, we're just gonna go poof. Oops, actually, there we go. And now we just destroyed his entire life's work, and we can kill him. Okay, here we're going to get 32 strength and then whatever vitality. Just to make things a little easier. 32 strength will save us a hit on 2 of the next 3 bosses. And one of the next 3 bosses basically doesn't even count because it's supposed to be one of the first bosses that you encounter. But, so we're just coming to him so late, we're basically just gonna delete his existence instantly. And there's basically only one more scary part that's coming up pretty soon. They're called bone wheels. You could have the maximum amount of health and these bone wheels will still rip you to shreds. Because they do tick damage, but they do a lot of tick damage, and while they're hitting you, it staggers you so you can't move. So if they trap you in a wall or something, it will just do 100 million damage to you. Maybe not 100 million, but enough to kill you at any health. Now we're gonna go press this lever and quit out to skip the long animation. Run a bit straight just so that Pyromancer doesn't hit you. And now here's the last scariest part of the run. We're gonna do a full control put out down to here. Which I'm not sure if that would actually save my position. No. I jumped in a weird position, so it should be a little better now. Yeah. Alright, now we're gonna fall down to the bottom. But we just basically spawn in amongst a billion of these bone wheels, which is very scary. So I just need to listen for them, and when they're coming around to get me, well, only one of them came, so that's pretty good. It was quite easy. Now the hardest boss in the game. Don't blink your eyes yet, you'll miss him. Now he's dead. Hey, did you blink?
No.
Did you see him?
No.
We're close to the end, boy. Now this is one of the scariest places casually, just because you can't see anything. But as a speedrunner, you get to memorize the layout. You actually, it's one of the more consistent places. We fall down there. Oops. There's a dog here that nips at you every time, but I've never been hit by him. He's all bark and no bite. He's not really any danger at all. Now we're going to run completely straight here. And then do a little roll. And do a slope jump right there, which can get us up and over the whole area basically. So basically all the scary parts are done with. I say that, but I've died here plenty of times. But it should be. As long as I'm not stupid, we should be all Gucci. Actually, I never even usually have this much health. We're just doing a marathon. Thought I may as well. Now I'm gonna put on some armor, because there's actually skeletons down there that you can't kill indefinitely. Like, you kill them and then they just come back in like 10 seconds. So the best thing, oh hang on. That's a Nito's scream move. Which basically he just makes something come up out of the ground. Let's try and dispose of these guys pretty quickly. We need Nito to come quite close to us because there's big skeletons around the back, and if they get us, they can kill us super easy. Ow. That was quite a quick fight though, which is good. That's neato done.
How am I supposed to not yell?
Now, going to offer these souls to the Lord Vessel. And make the run down to the last boss. So now, you can actually kill this boss with a RTSR and it's a little faster, but I'm not really comfortable with parrying him, and you have to parry. Well, you don't have to, but that's how you do it to be faster. But I'm just gonna come in with all this health and do as much as I can. If he kills us, it's not super big deal. You can just go try again because it's like a 2-minute run. Now basically the only thing left that can kill us is the last boss. He can do some shenanigans every now and then, depending on what he does. He does this fast attack that basically you can't do anything about because it's so quick, you don't have time to do anything about it. Like, as soon as you see it and realize he's doing the fast attack, he's already done it. There's a bunch of knights down here, they all look big and scary, but they don't really do too much. See, he's just like, what? That guy wanted to fight and I just ran straight past him. It's like I've been training for this moment for my entire life. Alright, so I can just stun lock him basically. If I turn around here. Oh, see. Remember I mentioned the shenanigans he can do? Okay, now we should be good now. Lucky I'm a beast. And that is Dark Souls. Oh shit.